The first blizzard of the century had swallowed the mountains whole. Dr. Elias Ward tightened his parka hood and trudged through the white void, snow crunching beneath his boots. He was 3 miles north of his research outpost in the Arctic exclusion zone, a place where no satellite worked, where magnetic anomalies played tricks with compasses, and where only fools or scientists dared to wander. And tonight he was both. The power readings from his sensor array had gone off the charts, something massive, metallic, and moving beneath the ice shelf. He assumed it was a meteorite, maybe an iron core fragment. But as he reached the edge of the ridge and looked down into the valley, he saw the glow. It wasn't fire. It was blue. A circular indentation, easily 100 meters across, pulsed with cold light, frost crawling outward like veins. Elias descended cautiously, each step trembling with awe and fear. When he reached the edge of the crater, he saw what no human should have seen, what he would later call her. The craft was sleek and fractured, its silver hull cracked open like an eggshell. Steam rose from glowing seams. Strange glyphs shimmered and faded. And at the heart of it, half buried in the ice, was a figure, humanoid, motionless and dying. Elias's breath caught. He could barely make out her form through the frost. Pale blue skin, hair that shimmered like liquid silver, and armor of unknown alloy that hissed softly in the cold. He rushed forward, his instincts as a scientist and as a human colliding in one impossible moment. The readings from his handheld scanner spiked in every direction. Radiation, oxygen deprivation, freezing temperatures. She wouldn't last 5 more minutes. He didn't think. He acted. Elias pried open the cracked plating on her chest plate. Beneath it pulsed a faint rhythmic glow, like a heart but mechanical, part crystal, part circuitry. He pressed 2 leads from his emergency defibrillator against it and prayed physics still meant something here. Spark. Then a shudder. The alien woman gasped, her eyes snapping open, twin pools of ultraviolet light. She inhaled sharply, coughing out frost, and looked at him with terror and confusion. Elias stepped back, hands raised. "It's okay," he said slowly. "You're safe. I'm here to help." She tilted her head, blinking rapidly, trying to form sounds. The words that came were broken, but the fear in them was unmistakable. "No, leave danger coming." A low tremor rippled through the ice. Elias turned toward the crater's edge. The ship's core began to vibrate, its blue glow flaring dangerously. He didn't need translation to understand. It was going to explode. Elias scooped her up. She was lighter than he expected, and sprinted toward the ridge. The wind howled, the snow turning to knives against his face. Behind them, the craft erupted with a blinding flash, sending a shockwave that tossed them both into the snow like rag dolls. When he woke, hours had passed. The storm had buried everything. Elias groaned, shaking the snow off. The alien woman lay a few feet away, half conscious, breathing shallowly. Her skin had gone pale, translucent almost, and the faint glow at her throat had dimmed. He couldn't leave her. Not here. He carried her through the storm, step by brutal step, until the research outpost finally emerged from the white abyss, an aluminum dome half buried in ice, humming weakly with generator power. Inside, he placed her on the examination table and sealed the hatch. For the first time there was silence. Hours passed as Elias worked. He used his limited medical supplies to stabilize her, using the ship fragments he'd salvaged to craft makeshift conduits for her strange anatomy. He noticed that her veins glowed faintly under the skin, like rivers of light. When he tried to analyze her blood, the machine shorted out instantly. When she finally stirred again, her voice was clearer. "You saved me." Her accent was melodic, words stretched as if English were newly learned. Elias smiled faintly. That's what humans do, I guess. She studied him with curious eyes. Humans help strangers. Sometimes, he said. When we're not too busy destroying ourselves. She tilted her head as if processing that. I am Lyra, explorer of the Ketheri Enclave. My vessel was damaged by the signal. The signal? Elias asked. She looked toward the ceiling as though seeing beyond the stars. Something ancient, buried beneath your ice. Called to us. We came to contain it. But it consumed my crew. Elias's skin prickled. Consumed how? Lyra's eyes dimmed. Mind to mind. Thought virus. It sleeps below, waiting for more minds to awaken it. Before Elias could respond, a low rumble shook the station. Monitors flickered. Outside, the storm intensified, unnaturally as if drawn to them. The magnetic readings went haywire. It found me, Lyra whispered. It follows consciousness. You must leave. Elias shook his head. I'm not leaving you. You don't understand, she said, panic rising. It will take us both. But Elias refused. He grabbed his toolkit, fortified the hatch, and started calibrating the generator to overload. If this signal was an energy-based entity, maybe an electromagnetic pulse could disrupt it. Lyra watched him, awe and confusion in her alien eyes. Why do you risk yourself for one not of your kind? He paused, glancing at her. Because no one deserves to die alone on a frozen night. Outside, the storm became a living thing, shrieking with unseen voices. The lights flickered. The temperature plummeted. On the monitor, a strange distortion appeared. A black ripple like liquid shadow, moving across the snow straight toward the base. Lyra staggered to her feet. It's here. The walls began to vibrate. Elias triggered the generator's manual override, wires sparking around them. When I say go, he shouted, you run for the ridge. There is no escape, she cried. Then we make one. The distortion seeped through the walls like smoke. Elias could feel it pressing against his mind. Cold, invasive, whispering his name. Lyra screamed, clutching her temples as her body began to glow with radiant energy. Her alien heart pulsed faster, fighting the invasion. It wants to feed, she gasped. On thought. On fear. Then let's starve it, Elias growled, slamming the final switch. The generator erupted in a blinding flash. A wave of pure white energy tore through the station, shattering glass and shaking the earth. The shadow screamed, a sound that wasn't sound at all, and dissolved into mist. Then silence again. Elias collapsed beside Lyra. Smoke filled the air. The roof had partially caved in, but the storm outside had stopped. The world was still. When he awoke hours later, dawn had broken, a rare thing in the Arctic. Lyra sat beside him, her glow faint but steady. The sky above was streaked with color, the aurora shimmering like ribbons of rebirth. You survived, she said softly. Guess humans are stubborn, Elias muttered. Lyra smiled, a fragile, beautiful expression. The signal sleeps again, but it will not stay buried forever. Your world must be ready. Elias nodded weakly. Then maybe you can help us prepare. She looked toward the horizon. My ship is gone. My people will not come for me. I am alone. Not anymore. For a long moment, she simply looked at it, at the strange, warm hand of the creature who had defied death itself to save her. Then she took it. Together they stepped out into the thawing dawn. Two survivors, human and alien, walking toward a horizon that promised danger, hope, and a future neither of their worlds could yet imagine.